Hello dear students, today we are going to learn about joining process. Joining is one of the many operations that you will do when you work with data, especially when you work with data from different sources. So imagine that you want to study the different districts of a country, and you have information coming, for instance, from the economy, and you have another information coming, for instance, from the arts and culture. So these two data, they come from probably different offices, they have different names. So one will say they are called districts, and maybe another one they are called region, but for sure you need to match them so combine together the data on the economy with the data on the data on the arts and culture. So how are we going to do that? Here I'm going to load a really useful package that I'm going to probably going to dedicate an entire lecture to this package. It's so useful. It's called dplyr, dplyr, and I strongly invite you to install it. Really useful package. We are going to use this package today just for joining. So how does it work, joining? So as I told you, we start by having two types of data. So here, two data sets. And these data sets here also are data frame, and you can see that in the first one we have name, like John, Alice, Bob, and an ID. So this ID can, for instance, be the employee ID in a company. And then 40 that are related to the ID, the employee ID. As you can see, there is no name here. The names are only in this other table, so we need to match to have a join operation between these two. What is going to be the overlapping data, the key, that's in fact the technical term for that. What is the key to join these two tables? It's going to be ID. So by doing, when you do a join, you have three ways to do that, depending on what you want to do. One that is really often used is called left join. So this is the function from dplyr. It works when you say 1, so the data frame on the left, data frame on the right, and then you say they are joined by, and then you give between quotes the column that you want to use to join. What happens when you do that? You can see that we combine the two tables by ID. ID 1 is an age of 25 and it's the name John. It's called left join because it means that you take the you take as a reference the table on the left, so here df1, and you put all the information, all the matching information you can have here. So if, for instance, you have more names, so let's imagine that here you have, for instance, another ID with, for instance, 35, and so df2 looks like that. So now we have one employee more for which we don't have the name. If we run that, we will still get John, Alice, and Bob. If you want to, on the other side, focus on df2, so on the right table, then you use right join. It's exactly the same syntax. You give one table, another, then you give the name of the column between quotes, take care, make sure it's the same. And when you do that, what happens? Yes, what happens? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, here we can see that 1, 2, 3, John, Ellis, Bob. And when we look at df2, we have 1, 2. Well, we don't have 3, we just have 4 and 5. But we are going to keep them because by doing a right join, we really want to keep as a reference the right table, so this one. Bob is not here, Bob is gone. Okay, and if we don't have names, then it's going to say NA. And then you have the full join. The full join, it keeps everything. The same syntax as before, it's not left or right, it's full join. Then you have the two tables, you specify the column, and when you run it, then you see here you have everything. You have John, Alice, Bob, the ones you don't know. And when there is an information that is missing because the tables are not complete, then you have NA. So of course, in practice, how do you choose one or the other join? It's going to be completely obvious. The next video is going to give you a really practical example. Generally, 90% of the case people use left join. Now, a case that you are going to meet quite often is when the data sets have different columns for the same data. So imagine that here you have the same table as before, so ID 1, 2, 3, and then you have another table where, and now it's not ID anymore, it's employee ID. Well, if you ask to match by ID, the dplyr is going to tell you it doesn't work, I cannot find it. So how do we specify that? So we take left join, it's the same, but here when we say by, instead of saying just ID, so there is this vector, take care, so by equal C vector. In df1 it's called ID, equal employee ID for the right. So we say join this table really small functions, extremely useful, that I strongly advise you to learn. Good luck.